Well, hello everybody. We are back today, and today we're going to talk about healthy eating. You know, with all of the holidays fast approaching, it's going to be hard to stay on those diets and eat healthy. So today we have with us somebody who's the expert in the field. I have with us Lori Day. She's going to help give us some tips and advice on how to stay healthy throughout the entire year. So, welcome,
Great.
Lori.
Thank you. Thank
Tell
you,
us
Zelda.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how you got started.
I am a certified coach and got my certification through Villanova School of Nursing. And I made this decision because I was in a situation where I had really thrown myself in my corporate career. Stress was super high. I was traveling a lot. My health really became on the very bottom of my priority list. And I ended up being in a situation where I was overweight. My numbers were not good when I went and had my physical, and my energy was just down, and I knew the stress was paying a toll. So I had an opportunity to actually re-meet someone I had worked with many years ago in financial services, and found out that she was a health coach. And so I started talking to her, and I really liked the way that the approach, it wasn't about being on a diet. It was about creating habits of health instead of habits of disease. And a lot of times people fall into the situation where you feel like you're healthy because you're not sick.
Right.
And so as I started really looking at kind of my journey and how I had gotten where I was, and wanted to truly put my health forward so that I could not only be vibrant in my family life, but really contribute to the best I could professionally, and found that this concept of changing one healthy habit at a time creates not a diet mentality, but a mentality for vibrancy. And I just had to pay it forward. And as I learned more about the program, the habits of health education, it really not only fulfilled my desire to help other people, because that's what I think I was put on this earth to do,
Okay.
but it also helps me be accountable, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so that's a little bit how I got to where I'm at today. Think of our bodies as a Maserati, right?
Yeah.
We are not a Ford Pinto, for those that may remember those a long
I
time
do.
ago.
I had one.
I did too. So, you know, when you have a really stellar machine, you have to put the right things in it.
It's a good analogy.
And as you think about, you know what to do, but we have this engine that is run on autopilot, and it's in our brain. And our brain is designed to be efficient. And have you ever driven somewhere and you thought, oh my goodness, did I stop at the stoplights, or right? So you're on autopilot, and that's because your brain is a highly efficient engine, and it wants to be as productive and as efficient as possible.
So, Lori, tell us a little bit about how Optivia is different. Optivia, right? That's
Right.
it. Okay.
Optivia.
How is it different than all these other big diets and diet programs?
Right. And so Optivia means optimal living. And so that's kind of where it has its name. How it's different, it's really focused on clinical studies. It was created by this brilliant physician. His name is Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. And it's about looking at your body as a machine, and you fuel your body to keep it running like a car. And so what we believe in our process and our focus is it's really a 4-stage component that brings success. One, you need to have your education to help you rethink how you approach everything from your food to your stress levels to your sleep. So really bringing in habits of health education is a big part of it.
So they're going to teach you about nutrition.
They're going to teach you about nutrition, how to optimize your environment so that you are able to be successful and change your thinking. So your trigger isn't, oh, I'm so stressed, I'm going to go have some chocolate.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that, because you say it's like when you put yourself in different situations, You're going to the Thanksgiving Day family party.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to a business meeting where it's a dinner meeting, and all of that food is there. So, what do they teach you so that you can learn to say no?
So it really is about understanding what is important to you and why. So your willpower will never sustain you, but knowing what your motivation and why you want to be healthy is
That's true.
what's going to get you there. So we focus on low glycemic eating.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you are not having high carbohydrate, a lot of sugar. We try to really keep that under control. And when that happens, your brain becomes clear. You can think more purposefully. So we focus on every 2.5 to 3 hours having a small, low glycemic, high protein, nutrient dense, what we call fueling.
And what kind of products would that be?
So we have oatmeal, chili, it could be a shake, it could be a protein bar, it could be any number of components. And in our food program, which is one of the 4 things that make this successful, so you've got a coach to help teach you a little bit as you go. So it's all about just-in-time learning, not just in case. So you learn what you need and you start to adapt those habits of health. And then you have your food program, which is where if you are looking to lose weight, you focus on having this sustainable, we like to call the 5-in-1. So 5 times a day, you're going to have these small fuelings. And then once a day, you're going to have a beautiful lean and green meal. And some people like to split those between lunch and dinner or breakfast and dinner. But you can really choose based on what your day is. And I love when I hear my clients who are busy business women or grandparents that are loving the energy that they're with their grandkids and just being able to do things, to hear them say, this is easy, it has changed my approach, I've got energy, I'm sleeping better. So all of those non-scale victories are just as important.
So are they?
As the number.
So it's not one of these programs where you're mailing in the meals. You're making your own foods, right?
It's a combination.
Okay.
So when you have achieved your goal weight, then yes, you are managing all of your meals in a way that helps you across 6 meals a day, and you get to fill those slots with healthy things that you've learned how to fuel your body. While you're on your journey, the most scientifically expedient way to do that is you get fueling for a month's worth of fueling at a time. And then that's 5 times a day. You can choose any of these things. They're very portable, very easy, delicious. And then you are making yourself a beautiful meal that's vegetables and protein and just, again, a way in which you're learning to adapt your cooking style and ways that you see how your body responds to good nutrition.
Wow, there's a lot of information. So I see that you have lots of different guides. Tell us a little bit about some of these different things that you have here.
So each program is based on each individual's goals and objectives and who they are. So I mentioned the 5-in-1, so that's our most popular, but we have one for seniors, and we have to be really thoughtful about, how seniors want to increase their energy and how we support those. We have others that may be very active, so maybe in a physical job where they have a lot of movement and activity, so making sure that the calorie intake is suitable for every lifestyle. So we have different programs, and they are, again, just a vehicle to help you learn habits of health and untrain your mind for some of those habits that have been unhealthy.
So it sounds to me that the biggest tip for getting through these places when you're there and the desire is there and the temptation is there, really. The temptation is there. It's in your mind, it's the mindset of knowing that these are not the right things to be fueling your body.
Right. You just have to really think about, and holiday parties is a perfect thing. So you think about all this beautiful food and, oh man, I want to try that. Well, you might say, is it worth it for me right now? And why am I really here? Yes, the food is beautiful and it's a very hospitable thing, but it's really about the people.
Yes.
And it's about spending time and engaging in a conversation and being focused on the people instead of focusing on the food. That's one of the key strategies to make it through the holidays.
It was a couple of years ago I was making for Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday of all because of the family and the food. I mean, it was the food too. And I noticed, everybody brings their favorite dish or the one that's requested the most. And I started really paying attention to what I was putting in this homemade dish. And afterwards, I just started thinking in my head, yeah, you're putting that in this dish, you're cooking it, and then it's going in your mouth, and you're eating all that sugar and all these bad things that's going in your body.
Right.
So I have a whole different mindset of that now. So now, while I'll still have some, I won't eat so much. Or a lot of times I'll go with my sister and we'll look at a dessert and we'll go, let's take that cookie and cut it in half.
There you
take
go.
half, I'll take half. But
well, and what's the saying? The first bite is for taste, the second bite is for texture, and the third bite is just because. Right?
Okay.
And so
There you go.
if you want to taste it and then enjoy the texture, maybe that's 1 or 2 bites, right? Or maybe you look at a traditional recipe and think of new ways. I've got so many beautiful recipes, and they're available. If someone were to go onto Pinterest and search Optivia lean green recipes, you would be amazed at what beautiful recipes are out there. And they're done by the American Institute of Culinary chefs have put recipes out there for us. It's really amazing.
It is amazing. I was telling my family.
Totally reinvented itself.
Yes.
What can cauliflower not be now?
It can be
a
everything.
sandwich bread. It can be everything. So it's really true.
So what advice would you give your younger self at this point?
I would tell myself to, number one, put yourself first, because self-care is not selfish. It really helps create the way you can give to other people. So put yourself first. Secondly, there are a lot of things to enjoy in life, and the list includes many things that aren't food related. So don't rely on food to be your stress reliever, your companion, your entertainment, and you'll find a whole wealth of other things that can come to bear. And the third thing I would say is what you said. Your truly clean vegetables, when you clean your palate and you're used to having nutrient dense food, it's amazing how delicious things are.
And you crave them. You start to crave them. It's amazing. It's like when they were making fun of me, I'm like, I'm craving broccoli. I'm going to go buy some broccoli.
Well, and a lot of times people think I'll start right after the holidays. And I would just say, now is the perfect time.
Start before the holidays.
Because you can start the year strong. And if you think about how many meals are we going to have over the 30 days that we have left in the holiday season? And how many really big meals are the ones that are the gotcha ones? Maybe 5?
Yeah.
Throw in a couple of parties. You still have your breakfast, you have a lunch, you have a snack in between. So if you start now and start bringing in this discipline, those holiday events are going to be easier, and you're going to start the year, I promise, if you do the program, 10 pounds easy off the scale.
So tell our audience, how do they start Optivia? And how do they reach you if this is the thing for them?
So you can reach me. I would be your coach. I would be privileged and honored to be your coach. If you reach out to me, you can call me 904-382-3903. We will do a health assessment to make sure that we have the program that is good for you. And once we go through that, we can get you started.
Do you have a website?
We do. It's www.newdaysolutions.optavia, and that's OPTAVIA.com.
Thank you so much, Lori, for being with us.
Thank you.
And start the holidays right. Start before the holidays get here with the right nutrition.